And continue. Yeah, they usually come over here. As is usual Metroid mechanics, the doors block enemies from passing. Normally, I think Warwasp hives will spawn, like, any number of Warwasps, but for right now, they're not gonna. What does this say? This sculpture is drafted in honor of Talon's Star. Only translatable symbol detected on this sculpture is the word Chozo. Why are these two different scans? Petrified organic matter looks like a rock carved into a shape of an eye. Oh, it looks like it's an ion, but closed. Yeah, I think some hives also just don't really respond them that often. Plasmites, small insect capable of storing and releasing thermal energy. Plasmites are attracted to sources of heat, thriving on the energy present there. They emit light when hunting and will expel small bursts of thermal energy when threatened. They also usually appear in very dark rooms, although the lighting of this game makes it kind of easier to see in said dark rooms than it was in the original. Not this room specifically, but there's another room that I'm thinking of that's way darker than the original. And if we enter this room, it appears this item can only be reached by using the elevated bridge. Well, that's funny. You can scan this early. This elevated bridge looks worn but functional. Oh yeah, bridge time. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get a scan of this thing while I'm at it. Nope, doesn't look like it. Hive Mecha. Security unit programmed to work with predatory hive dwellers. Let me cross that off the list while I'm at it. Hive Mecha. Hive Mecha, security unit programmed to work with predatory hive dwellers. A design flaw makes the shielding on Hive Mecha weak around their access ports. These units are second-generation combat drones, able to interface with organic units at a higher level. They train, shelter, and work with hive-dwelling predators. Unarmed, they rely on their hive beasts to handle any threats. Speaking of which... Ram Warwasps! These only appear here, make sure you scan them now. Airborne Predator. Circles its prey and then strikes. The Warwasps are the only species on Talon 4 to evolve a true hive mind. Nesting in damp, dark places, Ram Warwasps emerge in small groups when threatened and circle their enemy at high speeds, disorientating it. Striking from all sides as a single intelligence, they can fell huge organisms. Ow. The timing on this is you can kind of hear when they're about to strike. Although the timing seems to be a little bit different than I remember. Yeah, you jump when they do the last screech. I think it might abuse their hive mind, actually. Also, sometimes you can get a few of them if you shoot at the... Yeah, this boss is not that hard. Your radar is helpful for fights like this one, where you're just trying to track enemies that move around at high speeds. Alright. Boss down. It goes without saying, but bosses are all missable. Scan them while you can. And this is a missile expansion. It expands our missile capacity. I saw someone get confused by this when they first played this, but our capacity did expand from 0 to 5. We now have missiles. And we also have a handy little bar saying how many missiles we have in total percentage. We can now open blast shields and get our first E-Tank, but we can't do anything else here until we get Morph Ball. And maybe bombs. I have anything on the other side of this room marked as bombs, but it might be possible to get through with just Morph Ball. Which are separate power-ups, by the way. I actually don't think there's any Metroid games where they're not. It's just that in Prime 2, you always have Morph Ball. And 3. Although in 3, you also always have bombs. 3 is weird. I like 3, but I think I'd appreciate it more as a randomizer game. I know. The scan even said as much. I think. I just don't see as much of a point with the Tangleweed necessarily. So this map will help us immensely. I mean, it won't help me necessarily because I've already played the game, but if you haven't played the game before, this map will be immensely helpful. Okay. There's also an item back here. I forgot this water is poisonous. What room is this? Ruined Gallery. Alright. Let's find Ruined Gallery on the checklist. Missile, plaza, whatever. Missile, Ruined Gallery. Oh, weird. I thought there was 2 items in here. I might have missed one. Very possible. Because I think there's also an item in here. But we can't get that without Morph Ball, so we'll come back later. Wait, that's not where the other wasp nest is. Alright. I'll save for posterity. I'm not gonna... I don't think I'll split the VOD here if I'm going to, which I intend to edit the VOD down into different episodes. Whoa, chat just reloaded, so that's great. But yeah, we need Morph Ball and bombs in order to get this. Which room is this? This is nursery. That was me bumping my right trigger against my desk. I mean, it's not really a desk, it's more of a really shitty table that I use as a desk. Because it wouldn't be a binary setup if it was not jank. See if I can't force a well, as we get more missiles, we'll get the bigger missile expansion. There's a missile expansion there, by the way. You're supposed to use it boost ball to get it, which is a thing we don't have yet. But you can, I think, also kind of get it with the double jump. Which is good, because I don't like boost ball. Anyway, next we're headed this way. Because I don't think there's anything I just need missile for. Water hall access. I think that's actually erroneous. I think I need more than missiles to get to water hall access. This room is really funny, by the way. If you play this in a randomizer, so this encounter starts up if you don't collect the item, But in a randomizer, if you already have Morph Ball before you enter this room, you can just leave, and then this encounter despawns forever. Like, you come back, and then you can just pick up the item, like, free of charge. And we got a big boy! This is a plated beetle. It's like a beetle, but plated. Metroid Prime has a beautifully creative naming scheme sometimes. Plated beetle, well-armored, burrowing insect, invulnerable only in the rear abdomen. The glowy part. Creature's thick cranial plating can repel frontal attacks. This gives it an advantage in combat, allowing it to make ramming attacks, only surfacing when it detects vibrations above. It then maneuvers itself so as to always face its rival, keeping its exposed abdomen protected. Yeah, first of the few. This is also not a missable scan, so if you forget this one, don't worry. Alright, plated beetle down. And that gives us Morph Ball. Now, I think Morph Ball by itself doesn't give us access to a lot, necessarily. I think most things I have on my list bombs. They don't list ball by itself. The list, while I did make a list of items, it's not perfect because I basically went, what items, when do I get access to this room? I think it's this. I think I get access to it then. So it's not going to be completely accurate. But it's enough for me, and it lists every item. So, I think if you played this game on a emulator, enemies respawn every room instead of every 2 rooms. But I think usually enemies only respawn every 2 rooms. Which doesn't matter much because the hallways count as a room, which means if you take a hallway to a different room, anyway. Now that we have Morph Ball, we can start going to the upper levels. We could also potentially make it back, but I think I want to wait till I have bombs, because bombs for sure open up a lot of Morph Ball. It's like one of the 2 interactions Morph Ball has, besides being a Morph Ball. Get those at a distance and they don't spawn enemies. You can also hear the hum of items when you're near them. Although I don't know how well it comes across in stream. Item here, but we need to access these tracks, which we currently cannot. So this is the room I was talking about. This is the other room the plasma spawn in. It's a lot easier to see in this version of the game, of this room. But in, like, the Wii version, this room's, like, pitch dark. You cannot see it all when you kill those things. Which is why, in this room and this room only, they respawn, I believe. At least I'm pretty sure they respawn. They respawn, right? Don't you make me a liar. Anyway. Surges of negative energy brought by the meteor far exceed our expectation. We Chozo have yet to find a way to rid ourselves of the great poison. All we can do now is seal it away and wait for the day when a power to purify the poison appears. However, it is already impossible to collect all the pieces of the great poison, as it is already spread, seeping into the planet and hardening. They were never seen again. Look, I swear they respawn. Well, there they are. Hi. So I don't usually go this way, but I might as well show it off. So there's a little threat indicator on the left. And you can see as we get to environmental hazards like this poison, it goes up. And you may also notice it goes up as we go behind... Oh, yeah, it's just going to tell us there's hot rooms in this door. Also, there's a puppy at my door. Puppy has been allowed in. There's not just heat in this room, by the way. Like, it's already a hot... Oh, my God, that's actually a really cool effect that I don't think I've ever seen. Like, it puts condensation on your visor. There's also grapple spots right through the door. Anyway, that was cool enough just for that effect that I've never seen. That's neat. These are shriek bats. Shows a wise and mystic science birds, constantly unable to cure, fix, or eliminate things exactly. I mean, they evidently weren't very successful because they're all extinct. Shriek bat, territorial ceiling dweller. Body temperature peaks at 121 centigrade. They have like this thing where shriek bats are like really easy to track with thermal vision for some reason, but it's never helpful because I mean you don't really use thermal vision that much in this game. Shriek bats have high internal temperature, making them easy to spot with thermal imaging. They roost on cave ceilings while hunting for small prey. Fiercely territorial, they dive bomb anything that wanders near. Anyway, these things are annoying to scan in any game that they appear in because they explode. Reaper Vine, powerful rock-dwelling tentacle. A single eye upon the Reaper Vine keeps a constant vigil, but its vision is limited to 10 meters. Even living, especially living. Sexual reproduction. Well, I think here they got wiped out by a poison. I think the Space Pirates Code's the one on Zebes. They're just like this really tragic species that always gets murdered. I don't think that they got extinct because they couldn't have enough babies. Scythe-like appendage on its tip is honed to lethal sharpness. The Reaper Vine will swing this blade wildly at anything that enters its zone of perception. Hey there, buddy. As you can see, and we'll see many times, you cannot permanently kill them. You can just knock them back in their little hole. These are different, but I think that, yeah, where it's not going to let us scan that because they're on a thing. That's venom weed. Is there anywhere else that has venom weed? Not nearby. Just two of these buddies. Alright, this room is one of the few hallways that doesn't have enemies, which I'm thankful for, because enemies are always annoying in the little hallways. These shriek bats, by the way, are really annoying. They always get you when you come out of the save room. Which there is a save room in here, but I'm not going to save just yet, I don't think. I'm going to go grab something else first. Oh! There's one of the two. Examination. Resupplies launcher with 5 rounds of ammo. That's one of the 2 missile expansions. The other one looks slightly different, where it's got, like, only 3 of those little arrow missile head things. But, like, it's still got the bottom part, which makes it really hard to distinguish for me. I actually usually take the lower path first, but I'm going to go this way, because I think for the sake of efficiency, this is more efficient. Why? What does left bumper do? Uh-oh. Why is left bumper jump? You could have had left bumper be morph ball, or like, use gyro button. Because having on-demand gyro aim... why do I keep saying gyro? I've just got it in my head that it's pronounced gyro, and I will never pronounce it correctly ever again. So this is the other kind of door, scannable door. This is a lock system. It's basically the door is locked is forever locked. I mostly use the shoulder button, but I mean, if I ever need to, like, if I'm gonna fire missiles while shooting, I'll probably use the face button. But I think it's better usually to use the triggers, because then I could look around while shooting. Hey, old buddy. Stone Toad preys on creatures smaller than itself, vulnerable only from within. A stone toad is able to remain still for days. It preys upon creatures smaller than itself, inhaling them whole. Anything it finds indigestible regurgitates. Stone toads use their tusks as a last resort in combat. Anyway, we're not dealing with him yet. We're dealing with this hole. I think the only reason why the face button exists is for a power-up that I don't have yet. And I'll explain which power-up it is when we get there. But there's a power-up that you might want to use the face button to shoot for. So I understand why there's a face button for shoot. I don't understand why there's a face button for jump. A new creature. Incinerator robot. Programmed for high temperature waste disposal. I need to remember to check that off the list. I've got ram wasps as well. Fire drone. It's almost everything missable in the ruins. Programmed for high temperature waste disposal. Device schematics include a high risk of malfunction when internal power core is damaged. Unit has minimal combat programming, but can defend itself if necessary. This drone's intense heat blast compensated for its lack of battle prowess. That's true, I guess. The thing is, I feel like the only time I really jump in combat is when I'm locked on, in which case I don't need to touch the stick. Barbed War Wasp, airborne insect with the ability to launch its stinger at prey. I can cross that off the list as well. Highly aggressive member of the War Wasp family, this insect can propel the tip of its stinger to up to 20 meters. This is also a feature that all War Wasps get in the second game. Stinger tips regrow seconds after the launch and contain an acidic compound designed to pre-digest prey. I need a drink of water. So these guys will continuously spawn for the rest of the boss fight. It's a little bit annoying. Oh, it just seems weird to me that you wouldn't look at where you're jumping before jumping. I don't think I've ever used missiles against this guy, but I'm glad I've decided to, because it seems way more effective than rapid-firing the beam at it. So I usually go the other way first, but I think item pickup efficiency-wise, this is better, for reasons that I will explain later. Anyway, this gives us bombs, so we can now jump as Ball. This is the trilogy version, so you can also just jump by yourself if you so desire, and I do, because triple bomb jumping is annoying. I've tried it. I've tried it, and it's not fun. I don't care if it's not the original experience. I want to have fun. Anyway, there's a missile in here as well. Which, this room is the Burn Dome. Which should be on my list somewhere. Plaza, Nursery, Ruined Shrine, Vault, Fountain, Gathering Hall, Watering Hall, Water Hall, Burn Dome. Yep. Off the list you go. I'm so glad. I think I'm gonna play Prime 4 with notes as well, because that's what the person I'm watching play this game is doing. My muscle memory wants me to tap the left bumper for Morph Ball, because that's what it is in the Wii game, the Wii version. And that's why it's like, why did you put 2 jump button? Alright, so when they said from within, they meant whoop! And then you bomb them. Oh, now that you have bombs, you can scan this. Morph Ball slot! This slot is active. Inserting a Morph Ball and detonating a bomb will usually cause these slots to send electrical impulses that can activate different types of sensors. These are not missable in this game, but they are in other Metroid Prime games. And there are, I think, scans in all of them, so get them when you can. Press X to flick your Joy-Con. I'm gonna just push the button. This is on a timer, by the way, so be careful. You can tell it's on a timer because of the stressful beeping. I know of 2 people now that have not. I mean, one of them was like, "Is it on a timer?" I wasn't really sure. And they had to. Yeah, make sure you remember the timer. Where is the other switch? Oh, right, it's across here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit rude that the water is poisonous in this area, but I mean, yeah. Just do it. Rule of 3s. You get this platforms that open to that door, which we can't really do much with for now, but it does give us an easy E-tank. I believe. If that goes where I remember it going. Which it might not, because I don't know. I played this game a month ago, but it was like a month ago, and I don't really come this way often. But I think this goes exactly where I thought it does. Yeah, so we can't go up those tracks yet, but underneath those tracks is a path that leads us to an E-tank. By the way, since I've got a list of places, I just want to mention, this game has a weird amount of Chozo Ruins bloat. Like, there's twice as many Chozo Ruins items as there are in any other area in the game. That's one of the E-tanks. Where's my E? E-furnace. That actually required bombs, but it's okay. Now we can make our way back to that save point. Yeah, well, the drainage and the platforms are tied together. Like, all 3 switches stay active once they're active. Oh. So now that we have bombs, we can actually sneak by this way. I think there's another item I'm missing, actually. I think there's a hallway somewhere with something I can break, but I can't for the life of me remember which one it is. So it's a good thing I've got a list. You can kind of get up there with bomb jumping, but you're supposed to get an upgrade for that later. All right. It's another save room down.